go over now to Charles Feldman, co-host at KNX News Radio in Los Angeles, California. Charles, very good morning to you.
Good morning, Mike.
I can't quite hear you, I think. Are you muted?
No,
there you are. Thank you. I'm sorry, I was muted. I muted my ears. There we are. Very good morning to you. Thanks for joining us. We've got a couple of stories to talk to you about. Joe Biden, who seems to have been awoken by some, strange... I don't know whether it's a narcotic over the course of the last few weeks. He suddenly decided to get into a flurry of activity. He's already sending all sorts of messages to Ukraine. He sent them some landmines. He sent them some missiles. He's decided to pardon his own son, Hunter. He's now decided to take a trip to Angola, but he's not quite sure what Angola is. Let's have a look.
With you in Angola, a vibrant city, and I look, not the city. The city I know is not Angola, but in Angola, in a vibrant city.
What's he talking about? Should we do that again? Let's just have a look. What is he talking about?
With you in Angola, a vibrant city, and I look, not the city. The city I know is not Angola, but in Angola, in a vibrant city.
I don't know. What do you make of that, Charles? What's he doing?
Well, the most amazing thing about that clip, Mike, is that, as you could see on either side of him, he has a teleprompter, the little square devices, plastic devices.
Right.
So why he is mixing up a city and a country when he has it right there in front of him on a teleprompter is beyond me, but there you have it. So I don't know what to make of that one.
But, I said just the other day before he pardoned Hunter Biden, maybe we should lock him away in a cupboard for the next few weeks so that he doesn't just kind of completely destroy whatever it is he's going to go after destroying, because he seems to be on a mission here, doesn't he?
Well, he is getting a lot of heat, and very significantly, Mike, not just from Republicans, you'd expect that, but from his own party for that pardon that you just mentioned of his son. And it's for a very important reason. Not just the pardon. Other presidents have pardoned people. Even Bill Clinton, when he was leaving office, gave a pardon to his half-brother. It isn't so much that he gave a pardon to his son, it's that he was so adamant for months that this is the very thing he would not do. And he used it as a foundation for saying that that was the difference between him and the Democratic Party and Donald Trump and the Republican Party.
Yeah.
That Democrats, he said, were, we're the party of law. We're the party that believes in the justice system. He said, I'm not going to overturn the verdict. I'm not going to go against the wishes of the jury or the judge. I'm not, he said over and over and over again, going to pardon my son. And then he did. And that is problematic no matter how you look at it.
Well, it is. And it also leads us on to the next story, which is Donald Trump's lawyers have repurposed Joe Biden's line, that enough is enough, so that they should also immediately be getting the case against Donald Trump in New York done away with effectively, right?
Well, that's right, because part of President Biden's rationale for pardoning his son was that he's discovered that the Justice Department, which, by the way, is the Biden Justice Department, was somehow tainted by politics by going after his son. Well, of course, that is the argument, and has been, of Donald Trump, that the Justice Department has gone after him for political reasons. So, yes, his lawyers today in New York filed papers saying, in effect, hey, look, what's good for the goose is good for the gander.
Right.
If the president says the department is tainted by politics, then our client, Donald Trump, can make the same exact claim.
Yeah. And can the president also then do away with any of the other cases in America against Donald Trump? Some of them are local cases, like the one in Georgia, I think, is a state case, not a federal case. Can he only pardon federal cases, or what?
He can only constitutionally pardon federal cases, but the U.S. Supreme Court gave him, in effect, and future presidents, a gift, if you will, a few months ago, by ruling that presidents really have great latitude, very wide latitude in what they can do and not be subject to prosecution. And even though the local cases that you refer to, one in Georgia and the Stormy Daniels so-called hush money case in New York, even though those are local cases, the lawyers, Trump's lawyers, are making the argument that some of the evidence that was put before the jury in the New York case now I'm talking about is tainted because the evidence was gathered while Mr. Trump was serving as president in the White House. Therefore, they say the Supreme Court ruling applies to him and the verdict needs to be overturned by the judge. But only the judge can do it. So the judge has delayed that decision while I am sure he is sitting in his chambers pulling his hair out.
Yeah. I mean, the whole thing makes a bit of a mockery of the justice system in the US altogether. I mean, people must be looking at it going, so either they are crimes or they're not crimes, it's political, it's not political, you know, what on earth is going on? And I think that's where most people in this country are looking at it going, well, we don't really understand how this works.
But from the time that Americans are in school, if not before, depending, I guess, on their parents, Americans are taught that no one is above the law. No one. And that includes presidents of the United States. Well, clearly that is not totally true. Now, maybe it's never true, but it's certainly now more transparent than it has ever been. Mr. Trump has run afoul of the law many times in his long career as a real estate developer in New York, way before he ever even got into politics, and has suffered really no legal, except for the expense, of course, consequences. Right. Biden's son, who admittedly didn't pay taxes to the tune north of $1 million, which would send many normal Americans to prison, is now scot-free and pardoned, by the way, for anything he may have done, any crimes he may have committed against the United States for more than a decade.
Yeah, which have yet to be uncovered. It's a mad, crazy system. Listen, Charles, I've got to let you go. Thank you very much indeed. Charles Feldman, co-host at KNX News Radio in Los Angeles. And Wolf's here. It is mad, isn't it, the American judicial system? I mean, ours doesn't work, but theirs is kind of, you know, ridiculous.
It really is. And the fact that, you know, having said for months and months that, Biden saying that he wouldn't pardon Hunter, to then issue this last minute. He just couldn't resist. He just couldn't. He couldn't let go, could he?
He really
just
couldn't.
Not.
And like everybody else in politics now, he just says, "Well, you know, circumstances have changed. I've now discovered."
Well,
that
I'm glad that Trump is quoting his own lines back at him, and that they're going to take that on because it's completely two-tier, double standards once again. Two-tier
Joe. I mean, it still doesn't know where Angola is.
Where is he? Is he in Angola? Or is he in a city?
He's not sure.
Country?
He's not sure. Meanwhile, staying with the United States of America, has anybody checked on Britney Spears lately?
It's my birthday. I'm not turning 42. I'm turning 5 this year. I'm turning 5 years old, and I have to go to kindergarten tomorrow.
Baby strawberry, a very, very cute baby cake that my friend...
It really kind of hurts my feelings.
I'm pretty sure she's putting on a 5-year-old's voice there. I don't know what's going on with her. Doesn't look great, does it?
It doesn't look good, and one wants to laugh, but it's actually, I think it's probably not funny because Britney Spears seems to have been having a very, very public nervous breakdown. Yeah. Certainly in the last few months, but also in the last few years, and she's clearly, in some way, either she thinks that's cute and funny or something, or she's really in trouble.
Yeah, it's not good.
For a 42-year-old woman.
Yeah, I know. Strange.